I never thought that love could hurt so badly. I never imagined that trusting a man, giving him something as personal as my menstrual pad, could become the first step toward the worst mistakes of my life. "Don't throw it away, Tina," he said one evening, calm and tender, reaching for the small pad I held. "I'll help you with that." I froze. My chest tightened. My mind screamed, why is he doing this? But my heart, stupid, naive heart, beat faster with something I thought was love. So I handed it to him. That was James, my boyfriend. Handsome, charming, generous beyond reason. And I was 20, living in Lekioja, Lagos, and hopelessly in love. Lekioja was alive, always. The streets hummed with energy, buses honked endlessly, hawkers shouted their wares, motorbikes zipped past, and children ran barefoot, laughing as they dodged the traffic. But James' apartment, his place felt like another world. Quiet. Calm. A little oasis of soft yellow light and polished floors. I remember the first time I entered his apartment. I was struck by how clean it was, how organized, and how calm the air felt. There were small plants by the window, a soft rug on the floor, and a faint smell of cologne lingering in the air. I had never felt so safe. And I had never felt so loved. James had a way of making you feel special, even in the smallest ways. He would buy me the latest iPhone, take me shopping for clothes, shoes, and makeup. He called it taking care of my queen. Yes, James was a Yahoo boy. Everyone in Lagos knew what that meant: rich, flashy, living fast. But to me, James was different. He was mine. And I believed in him. I believed in us. He always knew when my period was coming. Not just roughly, but exactly. A week before, he would call, "Tina, come over. I want to spend the whole week with you." And I would. I would go, expecting nothing but care, attention, and love. At first, James' insistence on handling my menstrual pads seemed strange, but sweet. "It's my duty," he said once, running his fingers through his hair, his brown eyes soft. I trusted him. But little by little, I noticed subtle oddities. He would ask unusual questions. "Are you feeling okay, Tina? You look a little pale. Do you want to come over today? I want to make sure you're comfortable." His tone was always calm, soft, gentle, but something in me started to feel off. I loved James. I really did. I loved how he pampered me, how he remembered tiny details about me, my favorite food, my favorite color, the way I liked my tea. I loved the way he would insist on carrying my shopping bags, or cook for me, or make sure I never lifted a finger when I was around him. But deep down, a small voice whispered, "Tina, something isn't right. Be careful." I ignored it. I didn't want to see it. Love made me blind. Then came the first time he asked for something unusual. "Tina," he said one evening, leaning close, his voice low, "I want us to be closer during your period." I froze. My mind screamed, "No. Not now. Not like this. I'm not comfortable," I whispered. But James didn't take no well. His smile disappeared. His eyes grew cold. "You don't trust me?" he asked, his voice sharp now. "After everything I do for you?" I felt my heart sink. I wanted to leave, to run, but I didn't. I wanted to keep him happy. I wanted to be the perfect girlfriend. So I nodded. "Okay," I said. After that night, things began to change slowly, almost invisibly. He became more controlling, more insistent. He wanted to know where I was every hour of the day. He wanted to be part of every small detail of my life. I remember sitting on the balcony one evening, looking at the Lagos skyline, the tall buildings, the neon lights, the traffic moving like rivers of gold, and thinking, this is supposed to be love. This is supposed to be care. But deep inside, a seed of unease had been planted. It started with little things, marks on my body I couldn't explain, scratches I thought were from the bed. A small bruise here, a tender spot there. I told myself it was clumsiness, fatigue, my imagination. Anything but James. I wanted to trust him. I needed to trust him. Love made me desperate to see only the good. Every month, he would insist on me coming to his apartment during my period. Every month, he would shower me with attention, gifts, and care. And every month, I gave him my trust a little more, a little more. I started to feel like I couldn't breathe without him. I started to feel like I needed him to survive, to feel safe, to feel loved. But that sense of safety was a lie. A carefully crafted lie. I would lie awake at night, thinking about him, thinking about us. My friends warned me, "Don't trust him so much, Tina." But I ignored them. What did they know about love? About happiness? About feeling like someone truly cared for you? I convinced myself, he's different. He's mine. He would never hurt me. Little did I know, my blind trust was exactly what he wanted. One evening, I noticed something that made my stomach drop. My menstrual pad, something so personal, so private, wasn't disposed of the way I expected. James had kept it. I don't know why, but a cold shiver ran down my spine. And yet, I didn't run. I stayed. I told myself it was nothing. Just a strange habit. But something inside me whispered, "Be careful, Tina. Be very careful." And that is where my nightmare truly began. It all started with a simple act of trust. A pad. A smile. A promise to care. By the time I realized the danger, it was already too late. My innocence, my sense of safety, and my peace of mind were slipping away. And I had no one to blame but myself. Because love had blinded me. I thought I knew James. I thought I trusted him completely. But the truth, the horrifying truth, was hidden behind his calm smile and gentle hands all along. It started with a pad. Something so small, so ordinary, so personal. And yet, it became the first step of my undoing. By the time I understood what I had given away, it was too late. After that night when I noticed him keeping my pad, I felt a chill that never left me. My skin crawled, my heart beat fast, but I couldn't leave. I told myself, maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe he really does just care. Weeks passed. James continued his care, his pampering. He would buy me gifts almost every day, phones, clothes, small trinkets, and I felt myself falling deeper under his spell. Yet each act of generosity, each sweet word, felt heavier. There was always a shadow behind his eyes. A silence behind his smile that no one else could see. One evening, while he was distracted with his phone, I noticed something I couldn't ignore. A small notebook on his desk, filled with notes about me. My periods. My moods. My exact schedule. Every detail of my life, planned, tracked, and observed. I held my breath. My hands trembled. Why does he need to know all this? But I didn't confront him. I just sat quietly, pretending to be absorbed in my phone. Love had made me silent. Fear had made me silent. Then it happened. One night, he asked me to come closer during my period. I froze. My stomach knotted. I tried to pull back. "Please. I'm not comfortable," I whispered. But his face changed. The warmth was gone. His brown eyes, which I once found comforting, turned cold. His voice, once gentle, became sharp and unforgiving. "You promised you would trust me, Tina. You promised to let me care for you. Why are you rejecting me now?" I felt fear, real fear, for the first time. Something in him was not just controlling, it was dangerous. From that night on, everything shifted. James became demanding, manipulative. His care turned into control. He wanted to know where I was every second, who I spoke to, what I did. I started losing myself. I stopped going out with friends. I stopped visiting my family. I couldn't even step outside without him knowing. And worst of all, I couldn't see it clearly. Not until the nightmare fully unfolded. I remember lying in his apartment one night, staring at the ceiling, my mind racing. I felt trapped. I felt small. I felt ashamed for trusting someone so completely, for giving him every piece of myself without question. I thought, love is supposed to be freedom. Love is supposed to feel safe. Why does mine feel like chains? But even as the truth clawed at me, I didn't leave. I couldn't. Love, or what I thought was love, had me in its grip. One morning, I woke up to find James gone. The apartment was quiet, too quiet. I noticed my pad, discarded carelessly in the trash this time. Something about it sent a wave of nausea through me. I felt my phone buzz. A message from an unknown number. Tina, you should have listened. You should have known better. I didn't understand. But suddenly, memories flooded back, the notebook, the tracking, the way he always insisted on being close during my period. Every act of care was part of a plan. Every gift, every pampering, every smile, was a trap. I realized then, I had given away my trust, my innocence, and my safety. And there was no undoing it. Days passed. James disappeared. I tried calling, texting, begging, but no answer. My friends noticed the change in me. My laughter disappeared. My joy vanished. One night, I walked through the streets of Lekioja, the neon lights blurring around me, the sounds of the city muffled by my thoughts. I felt hollow. I felt empty. I realized the painful truth: sometimes, the people we love the most are the ones who hurt us the deepest. And sometimes, no matter how much we give, how much we trust, we cannot escape the consequences of blind love. I returned home, alone, and sat in silence. Lekioja hummed around me, motorbikes, hawkers, children laughing, but it all felt distant, unreal. I cried, not just for what James had done, but for myself. For the naivety that made me trust blindly. For the innocence I had lost. For the freedom I had thrown away for a fleeting illusion of love. And as the night deepened, I whispered to myself, never again. I will never let anyone have that much power over me. Not ever. Love can be beautiful, but it can also be dangerous. Trust is precious, but it can be exploited. And sometimes, the lessons we learn come at a cost so high, we can never forget. I was 20. I was naive. I was in love. And I lost myself. This is my story. The story of my ex-boyfriend. Sometimes, the people we trust the most are the ones we should fear the most. Tina thought she was in love. She thought money meant care. She thought gifts meant safety. She thought attention meant affection. But real love is not hiding things. Real love is not fear. Real love is not control. Real love is not silence. The world is full of people who smile with their mouth, but keep darkness in their heart. Tina's story teaches one thing. When something feels wrong, it is wrong. Your spirit will tell you. Your body will warn you. Your heart will whisper. Do not stay blind because you are scared to lose someone. Because sometimes, losing the wrong person is the beginning of saving your own life. Not every hand that feeds you wants you alive. Some people give you things just to take something bigger from you. When love becomes fear. When comfort becomes confusion. When care becomes control. Run. Do not explain. Do not argue. Do not negotiate. Your life is worth more than gifts, money, or promises. Your value is not measured by what someone buys for you. Your value is measured by how you feel around them. If you cannot breathe freely. If your heart is always shaking. If you cry more than you smile. You are not in love. You are in danger. My sister. My brother. Have you ever trusted someone so deeply, only to later realize you were sleeping beside a stranger? If this story touched your heart, tell me in the comments. What is the biggest lesson you learned from Tina's experience? Your comments might save someone's life. And if you want more real stories, more lessons, and more warnings for this generation, don't forget to like, follow, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps the world hear stories that many people are too scared to tell.